Good evening, people. 7:59 p.m., 3/16/2018. I kind of have a topic in mind. I'm always hoping I'll get some kind of feedback because I really and truly don't understand what has actually happened to my family. But I guess people think I get on here to joke around or something. So I'll try to jump right into it now. I got to thinking this evening, I was sitting here doing my little puzzle about how the stepdaughter's mother reported that she had fondled the preacher there when she got on his lap. And I don't know how long that went on before he actually came to terms with it and was able to tell the mother so that maybe she could do something about it. You know, it could have gone on for Lord how long, Lord knows how long, when he finally told himself, you know, this is dangerous ground I'm treading here. This had best stop. You know, because who knows, he may have enjoyed it thoroughly. We don't know. We're not in his mind. We're not in his congregation either. So, personally, I don't know the guy. I don't want to. But that's kind of the question with me tonight. Is, if she didn't get in trouble for that kind of behavior, maybe her next target was who she thought was still a pastor, which was her dad, John Myers. Do you see? Because maybe they weren't aware that he didn't any longer have a priesthood. He no longer wanted anything to do with it, you know. That church had become such in his eyes that he just made a break for it. And as I had expressed in other videos, at least one or two, that I thought it was the reason for us having so many difficulties. I don't mind not being in a priesthood home. You know, I wasn't, for one, brought up in that religion, and two, wasn't counting on it as a part of some sort of deal by marrying him that I would end up in. So it's kind of like, if you don't know what it is, how can you miss it, right? And that's with me right there. I didn't really know what it is, therefore I don't miss it. Alright? And he never even tried to get me to join that church. He was out of that church, just kind of like a tumbleweed, kind of blowing along with the wind. And then when I met him, he didn't really have any church affiliation. But he started going with me. And even before him, when I had Air Force boyfriends, my mom always called them fly boys. A lot of people call them fly boys. They would go to church with me because I met those in the program, not at bars, you know, not at parties. So when I met them, they were on that path, you know, to not become righteous. I don't think anybody ever joins AA with the thought behind it, I'm going to become righteous. I just don't think that's what they join for. There are people who send them there from the court. You know, they get the court ordered attendance. That's a condition of their, like, release or their parole or something like that. Now, somebody in that regard might have expectations on some of them that by sending them there, they will become righteous. They will become one of the righteous ones, you know. And there'd always been somewhat of controversy about the court sending them, because a lot of people didn't really want them in their group at all, because they feel that if a person's going to join AA, they're going to succeed only if they send themselves there. If they get themselves to the meeting, it's because they're earnest about getting themselves to the meeting, not doing it for anybody else but themselves. That's why they call it a selfish program. You do it for yourself. You know, not for the neighbor lady, not for the wife, not for anybody else. But the courts, see, they think that's a perfect arrangement. And they don't even send those people that they court order to meetings with any money to buy books or put money in the coffee, you know, the offering plate, or future buying of coffee and literature, books, pay the rent on the building or whatever. They send them there just more or less. AA becomes a babysitter. But I didn't even mean to get up on that about AA, you know. Just a second. Okay, the thing is, with the stepdaughter, and did she develop a fetish for fondling preachers, pastors, clergy, men of the cloth, priests? Because I believe that could happen. Like in her mind, it was her specialty thing, you know? Her specialty kink was to molest preachers. I guess maybe in her world at the commune, it was like molest or be molested, you know? I wasn't there, so I just don't know. And like I'd said before, numerous times, maybe not in videos, but also in posts, because we didn't have electricity. Well, we might have had it, but didn't use it for the evening meals. Excuse me. That was a little something we picked up at AA, that people sometimes feel more at ease to talk in candlelight than with a lot of bright focus on them. So to get the kids talking, we dined by candlelight. And it did encourage conversation. It really did. I'm glad we knew to do that, because we really had gone into the whole thing of getting them blind. We were just the blind leading the blind at that point. And see, it had grabbed my heart from the time we found out that their mother was moving them there. My heart just went out to them, you know. I had met them, didn't know them, but you don't have to know someone or meet them to have your heart go out to them. You know, I felt that was a bad move on her part. I felt it was irresponsible, because it kind of put them in a full-time camp out in that way, you know, with no electricity, like the off-gridders, you know. Get on YouTube and watch off-gridder videos, the prepper videos. Well, that's kind of what they were all into up there, in their own way. Okay? But see, in town, if you get your electricity shut off and you're on, or you're a recipient of any kind of, assistance from county or state, that's going to come up. If they come to visit you for any reason, and sometimes they do invent reasons to come to your house, whether it's malicious or they just don't know how to break the ice, to say you're one of our clients, you receive these benefits, and we feel it's our right to come to your house and see how you're living. See what these monies are going for. See what these assistance programs are doing with you, or how you're doing with them, or what's what. Okay? If you didn't have electricity, I'm sure this would go in your file. Because if you get assistance, and you can get also assistance with the utilities from different directions, they would be going, well, we happen to know you're at the Salvation Army just a month ago and got money to pay your bill. What happened? Well, maybe not there, because they would probably more directly make the check right out to them, not to you, to pay it. But you get where I'm coming from. They'd be wondering what happened to that money, or why isn't your bill paid? You get money to pay it. It would come up as a matter of concern, right? Well, because the main owner of that place, who didn't want to be called a leader, Livingston, his sister was, maybe still is, I don't know, the public defender. Hello? Why does the place not get any blemishes against it on its record? Hello? You getting the drift about this? I think it's bigger than what people wanted to admit. Because with that satanic stuff that she had done, including fondling the preacher and maybe targeting her dad as a priest that he no longer was, but she didn't know, targeted him for her abuse. Hello? And for the record, although I've said it before, although he was that priest for LDS Church, Latter-day Saints, you know what prisoners think of former clergy who are child abusers, right? Do I need to draw you a picture or leave some links? They usually end them pretty quickly. Alright? And I always get confused about the time, because my mind has been stressed unimaginably by different things, okay? Let's leave that at that for now. And I was thinking, we've only got like a year left. Well, there's 2 years left, okay, of a 25-year sentence. So for 23 years, if the parallel universe, which is the prison, were going to end the life of who they believed truly was some kind of child abuser, he would be dead already. He wouldn't have lived for 23 years. And here I am running out of time again. Look up here at my clock. So have a lovely evening. I might come back again. I don't know. It depends on how I feel.